Hello students, today we will be seeing the histology of stomach part 1, in which we will be studying the histology of the fundus part of the stomach. Now stomach is a hollow muscular organ that lies between the esophagus and duodenum, and it has three parts gross anatomically, that is the fundus, body and the pylorus. And it has two ends, a cardiac end and a pyloric end. Now when we go on to see the histology of stomach, histologically stomach shows three regions. The cardiac region, which is a small part that lies at the cardiac end. The fundic or the body region, which includes the fundus and body of stomach. And the pyloric region, which connects the stomach to the duodenum. This is the lowermost part or the pylorus part of the stomach. Out of these three, two important slides which we have to study. One is of the stomach fundus and second is histology of stomach pylorus. Now histologically, stomach has four layers. It shows from within outwards: mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa and serosa. These are what we have already seen in the video on general structure of the gastrointestinal tract. So considering that you have seen that video, we will proceed further. What we need to understand here is that the gastric mucosa shows presence of gastric glands. Now what we see here is a diagram showing the four parts of the wall of the stomach from within outwards. This here is the luminal surface, and what we see here is the mucosa having its three parts, that is the lining epithelium, lamina propria and muscularis mucosae. Then next we see the submucosa, then the muscularis externa and finally the serosa. Now let us go on to study the histology of the stomach fundus or stomach body. Mucosa here shows three layers or three parts: the epithelium, the lamina propria and the muscularis mucosae. Epithelium here is lined by simple columnar epithelium with basal oval nuclei. Epithelial cells secrete insoluble or cloudy mucus and hence they are called as the surface mucus cells. These cells show presence of mucinogen granules in the apical part. On H&E staining, the surface mucus cells show vacuolated apical cytoplasm as the mucus is washed out during tissue processing. Lifespan of these cells is 3 to 5 days. What we see here is the lining epithelium, which is lined by simple columnar epithelium, and these cells are called as the surface mucus cells. What we see here is a surface mucus cells, which are simple columnar cells with a basal oval nucleus. Cytoplasm showing foamy appearance because of the mucinogen granules near the apical part. Lamina propria shows presence of simple branched tubular glands, which are called as the gastric glands or the fundic glands. These glands extend from the bottom of the gastric pit, that is the surface epithelium, up to the muscularis mucosae. Each gastric gland is connected with the gastric pit by a small narrow segment called the isthmus. Fundic glands are long gastric glands, the gland occupying almost 2/3 the length of the mucosa, and they have short gastric pits, which is only 1/3 of the length of the mucosa. So this is an important point to identify the slide of fundus of stomach. The glands occupy the deeper 2/3 of the mucosa, while the gastric pits are seen only in the upper 1/3 of the mucosa. Each gastric gland has got neck segment that lies adjacent to isthmus and is a narrow and long segment. Fundic segment or the base is a short and wide segment that divides into 2 to 3 branches. Gastric glands are lined by mucous neck cells, chief cells, parietal or oxantic cells, enteroendocrine cells, and some undifferentiated cells. These all cells we will be studying a little later. Muscularis mucosae consists of smooth muscle cells arranged as inner circular and outer longitudinal layers. So this we see here, the mucosa part of the fundic part of the stomach. We've seen the lining epithelium. What we see here is the gastric pit. And what we see here is the lower part of the gastric gland. So as is seen here, if we see the entire mucosa, the gastric pit is in the upper or the luminal 1/3, while the gastric gland occupies the lower 2/3. We also see the muscularis mucosae, the two layers of smooth muscle cells arranged as inner circular and outer longitudinal layer. So this is the mucosa of the stomach fundus, showing lining epithelium, lamina propria and the gastric glands and the muscularis mucosae. We then move on to see the submucosa. This consists of dense, irregular connective tissue having blood vessels, nerve fibers and Meissner's or submucosal plexus. Next we see the muscularis externa. Smooth muscle fibers which are arranged in 3 layers, inner oblique, middle circular and outer longitudinal layers. There is a new concept here which says that distinct layers of smooth muscle fibers are not differentiated and the smooth muscle fibers are oriented randomly. Meinteric or Orbach's plexus is present between the bundles of smooth muscle fibers. What we see here are the 3 layers of the smooth muscle fibers, inner oblique, middle circular and outer longitudinal layers, and that is what constitutes the muscularis externa. We then go on to see the outermost layer or the serosa. This is a connective tissue layer with mesothelial lining of visceral peritoneum. And this what we see here is the serosa, connective tissue having adipocytes, lymphatic aggregations and blood vessels. Now we see here a low power view of a slide of fundus part of the stomach. Now what we see here is the mucosa, the lining epithelium, and what we see here are the gastric pits, and these are the gastric glands. So 1/3 is the pit and 2/3 is the gastric gland. We also appreciate the muscularis mucosae here, the dense connective tissue that is the submucosa, and the smooth muscle fibers, that's the muscularis externa. Another low power view showing us the lining epithelium. We also appreciate the gastric pits here, which are seen only in the luminal 1/3, and lower part shows us the gastric glands, the lower 2/3, muscularis mucosae, submucosa and the muscularis externa. A high power view showing us only the fundic glands. Again we appreciate the gastric pits here, and we see the gastric glands with the various cells which are seen at the base of the gastric glands. We can make out here that some of the cells are darkly basophilic and some of them are darkly eosinophilic cells. Now let us further see what are these different types of cells. Now before seeing the different types of cells, let us see this is an aperio emethyscope picture of the fundic glands. Again, we can see the lining epithelium nicely appreciating the simple columnar cells with the basal oval nucleus. We also see the gastric pits here occupying only 1/3 of the length of the mucosa, and the remaining 2/3 occupied by the gastric glands or the fundic glands. And cells seen here are cells which are having either a darkly basophilic stain or a darkly eosinophilic stain. We also appreciate here the muscularis mucosae which is seen. We see here a hyper view which shows us the cells lining the fundic glands, some which are large triangular cells, eosinophilic with a spherical nucleus in the center. These are the parietal cells. And we see some cells which are basophilic in appearance, and these are the chief cells. So now let us go on to see the details of the cells of the fundic glands of stomach. The mucous neck cells located in the neck region of fundic glands just beneath the gastric pits. Cells are columnar with basal oval nucleus. Cytoplasm shows apical mucinogen granules which give rise to a foamy appearance on H&E staining. The cells secrete soluble mucus. Some cells give rise to stem cells that later replace the surface mucus cells. Mucus cells are replaced every 5 to 7 days. This what we see here are the surface mucus cells or the mucous neck cells, columnar cells with basal oval nucleus and a foamy cytoplasm due to the appearance of the mucus which gets washed away during the H&E preparation. Next, we go on to study the chief or the zymogenic cells. Cells appear blue in color on H&E staining. They are also called the peptic cells. They are located in the deeper or basal part or the lower one-third of the gastric glands in the fundic and body part of stomach. These cells synthesize proteins, that is pepsinogen, which is a precursor of the proteolytic enzyme pepsin. Their cytoplasm contains large amount of rough endoplasmic reticulum which takes the basophilic stain in the basal part of the cell, thus giving rise to basal basophilia. Apical portion of the cell has secretory zymogen granules that give slight apical eosinophilia. The lifespan of these cells is 60 to 90 days. And this here we see the chief cells or the zymogenic or peptic cells. Cells having basophilia at the apical part and they have a spherical nucleus in the center. Next we study the parietal or the oxyntic cells. These are found in the upper part or neck region of the gastric gland in fundus and body part of stomach. These are large triangular cells with a spherical nucleus in the center. The apex of the cell is directed towards the lumen of the gland and the base lies towards the basal lamina. Cells take dark acidic or pink stain on H&E staining, hence they are also called the oxyntic cells. They secrete HCl and intrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor binds with vitamin B12 and helps in its absorption. Lifespan of the parietal cell is 150 to 200 days. This here we see a hand-drawn picture showing us the parietal or the oxyntic cells, large triangular cells with a spherical nucleus in the center, and the cytoplasm stains pink or is strongly acidic in nature. Enteroendocrine cells. Cells are mostly present in the lower portion of the gastric glands. There are two types of enteroendocrine cells. Closed type, cells rest on basal lamina and do not reach the lumen of the gland. Open type, cells have microvilli that reach the lumen of the gland. On H&E staining, they remain unstained, hence they are difficult to identify. Cells secrete gastrin, serotonin and histamine directly into the blood vessels. Lifespan of these cells is 4 to 6 days. Stem cells. Some undifferentiated stem cells are present in the neck region of the gastric glands. These cells divide and move upward or downward to replace other cells. Now let us see what would be the salient features for spotting for a slide of stomach fundus TS. Presence of mucosa lined by simple columnar epithelium. Presence of numerous chief and parietal cells in lamina propria. Presence of muscularis externa containing inner oblique, middle circular and outer longitudinal smooth muscle layers. Thus, we have studied one important slide today, and that was of histology of stomach fundus. For further reference, you can read Sontakke Yogesh, Textbook of Human Histology by CBS Publishers and Distributors Private Limited, New Delhi 2020, page numbers 201 to 206. Thank you.